And welcome back, RJB here from RJB TV, with the continuation of Brain going up against Tack, also known as Meppo. So far in game number 1 and game number 2, we saw two very strong displays of their skills. Tack won the first game with a surprise attack, where he caught Brain off guard and managed to outsmart him with some pretty good play. Brain just drew the short end of the stick. And in game number 2, Brain almost fell again, but he managed to stay alive, stay upright, and fend off the numerous attacks thrown his way by Tack, the Protoss player here on the white Protoss on the 3 o'clock spawn location. And on the orange, on the 6 o'clock spawn location, we have Brain on the name RKTJDY, which probably means something on the Korean keyboard, but I don't know what it means. It means something. I've got no idea. If someone in the chat can help me out, or someone in the comments can help me out with that one, we might be able to figure out what it means specifically. So both players are on middle spawn locations, and most of the time that means that things are going to be quite favorable in the early game for the Terran if the Protoss decides to go for a Nexus first build order. But I think that Tack is the kind of player who likes to go for double gateway Nexus. So he should be safe, and it does mean that Brain might be in some danger, because Brain sometimes likes to go for a triple barrack instead of a double barrack. And a double barrack is not as strong. I mean, it goes without saying, if you have double barrack production, you're not going to have enough units to fight against real early game aggression unless you have some insane god tier micro hidden away behind your belt. And yeah, it turns out that he is gonna go for a double barracks, and that was what I was fearing already, but knowing Brain, he might just be able to come out of this without taking any significant amount of damage. And he scouts Tack on the very first attempt, and that leads me to believe that Tack is gonna find Brain pretty early as well. Although he's pulling back that probe, he's gonna get a Nexus there after a double Zealot is in production. He knew the Marine was probably coming, so he pulled the probe back to try and get confirmation. Very smart detail there from Tack. He knew the Marine was coming, so the probe in the front there didn't set it in yet because it might die if the probe was inside the base. 2 Zealots spawn. Probe there running away to safety. SV and Marine are on the hunt. Zealots now are hunting down that Marine. SV is trying to try to kill that probe. So small little couple of things going on already here in the early game. But with the Zealots out on the map, and with Brain on only double barrack production, there's not a lot of offensive firepower here in the tank for Brain. If he had done a triple barracks, we might have maybe seen him go for an all-in attack. I've seen him do it in the past, where he goes for a Zealot Marine attack with the triple gateway, with the triple barracks against a double gateway, and he gets himself quite a little bit of damage down or a kill on the Protoss. But right here, it's going to be a defensive game from Brain, although he is kind of aggressively pushing back against the Zealots, because he knows that he might be able to kill a Zealot, maybe 2, if the Zealots go out too far before the other 2 Zealots arrive on the scene, because 2 Zealots cannot fight against 6 to 8 Marines. So Brain was trying to take advantage of that, but couldn't quite get there on time because Tack, of course, knows to keep his distance until he has enough units to fight back with. Now Brain tries to get a jump on the Zealots and pushes them back. 4 Zealots could win this fight, but it would take some amazing micro, and it would take Brain to just stand still and take a beating. And Brain is going to micro in return as well, of course. Stim is on the way, Firebat is on the way, and double Medic has arrived there in the front, which means that now the Medic and the Marines are stronger than the Zealots. One Zealot there tries to go in over the right side, and the other Zealots go in over the left side. This is a classic maneuver. But Tack doesn't believe he can go in deep enough and returns back home. He saw the medics, and when he saw the medics, he knew that Firebats were probably on the way, which means he has to return to his choke because he has only 1 cannon, not 2. And he's got more cannons on the way, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. This army from Brain can break through if the Firebats in the front get a lot of AoE damage on the Zealots, and he does get a lot of AoE damage, but the Firebats both know the Firebat's still alive. Firebat is taken down. And the cannon is unprotected by the Zealots. The Marines are trying to stim through, and they do stim through. Cannon in the back there finishes up as well. It's going to go down before it gets any damage down on those Marines. 1 more cannon there finishing up. Medics are still healing. Cannon goes down. One Marine dies because the medics had no energy left. Cannon in the back finishes up as well, and 2 Zealots are on the way. You got a Dark Templar's Archive already on the map. Very quick Templar's Archive. Gonna go for double Dark Templar that might catch Brain off guard. Although Brain is already getting an Engineering Bay. They're back at home. He's trying to try to kill that Nexus before the Dark Templars come out onto the map. Gonna have to micro these Marines there though. More Marines are coming into the base because there's no cannons in the front. Dangerous situation. Templar's Archive is almost done. The Dark Templars will not be on time. The Nexus is going to go down. Brain comes out with the first punch. He saw a weakness in Tack's defenses and without any hesitation just jumped right in there and took advantage of the fact that Tack wasn't doing what he had to do. He had to get 2 cannons in the front, not 1. I don't know why he got 2 pylons. It makes no sense. 2 pylons, 1 cannon makes no sense whatsoever. You always get 2 cannons, not 1. Because this happens if you get 1 cannon. Brain saw it and he punished it. Now Tack is in trouble because we have Brain on triple command center, 4 barracks, 1 factory. He really did a lot with only double barracks, to be honest. He did a lot of damage, more damage than he should have done with the double barracks. Like, this should not be possible, but he managed to do it because there was only 1 cannon. So the Dark Templars are on the push, on the hunt. Turret there in the front. He knows Dark Templars are on the map, so they won't get too much done. He might sneak through, though. If the Zealots tank first, he might get in there. But nope, there's a turret there, turns around, and returns back to the middle. Which means that now the Dark Templars have 1 function, and that is keeping Brain in his base. But Brain has double scan, so he can, if he wants to, he can try to go for a push and break into Tack's base. He killed the pylons in the front as well, to make sure that no cannons will be built anytime soon. He has the first Warfighter pylon, and then the cannons. So very good attention to detail there from Brain. So Tack is recovering, has a robo. It's a bit messy there in the back. He's got a support bay finishing up. He's got Storm on the way. He's got triple gateway. No cannons in the front there yet. He's behind by 9 probes, and it's going to be way more as the game goes on. He gets a 3rd Nexus, so triple Nexus there from Tack to try and recover from that attack by Brain. And Brain now getting factor number 2. He's getting attack level 1. And he's getting siege mode and a siege tank. And yeah, a lot of SCVs because he has triple command center already on 43, 11 ahead of our friend Tack, who has Dark Templars inside of Brain's base. There's a turret in the back. Gonna try to take down that. No, getting too close. Gets stimped, gets surrounded, gets killed. 2 more Dark Templars hiding in the corner. Gonna go in 1 by 1 until all the scans have been depleted. But Brain saw something moving in the top corner and scans the Dark Templars and hunts them down. Nowhere for them to run. Both of them get killed. 3 Dark Templars did pretty much nothing at all. Except, of course, deny information. But he's got double scan. Information denial, not really a thing. When you have double scan, you can keep on scanning all game long. Every, like, 20 seconds or 30 seconds, you get a scan. Every 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds. Maybe, yeah, I say 40 seconds, 44 to 35 seconds. I should look up the exact amount of time it takes for a scan to get 50 energy. I should look it up. But I think it's about 40 seconds, somewhere around that point. Drop on the bottom. Got there just on time. He allows the Zealot. There's 2 high temples in there. There's turrets and Marines in between. Probably not gonna get in too deep. He's gonna stay there on the side. Doesn't want to go in just yet. He's safe here. He's going to wait for a moment to strike. Whereas another drop is being prepared, scans coming down there on Tack's base. Scans the front and the back. Scans the entire base. Everything. Oh, drop goes in. Arrives on location. Like Templars. Oh, he hits him really, really hard. Well, not as hard as I thought. A lot of SCVs barely made it out alive. Look at these. Low HP, getting healed up by a medic. So the workforce, Medicaid, medical support systems are operational once again. Medic in the back, healing up those wounded SCVs. But I do think he lost about 15 to 20 SCVs there, so it's still a pretty good hit. But with the triple command center and 49 SCVs still alive, it shouldn't really ruin his chances at victory too much, if at all, because he still has more supply than Tack. Tack on 58 probes, so he's recovering with the triple nexus. Drop there on the bottom. Goes in. Brain slow on the response. Temples unloading. Templar storming on the Marines. Kills the Marines. 1 more Templar gets stormed by his own storm. And doesn't get the storm on the SCVs. That could have been a game-ending storm, but 1 more storm? No. There's not 1 more storm in there. Brain, 103 supply, and Tack down to 93. but he did just lose a couple of units from a drop, so that's normal. It's normal for him to be behind the supply at the moment. So another drop there being prepared. He's getting 2 more robots, got 2 at the moment. Getting air armor, getting ground shield to make sure that the drops go in a bit easier. So 2 Templars in there. Difficult one to snipe. Unloads 1 High Templar. Storms on the SCVs and gets a huge no. Once again, SCVs barely staying alive. They take damage, but they survive the storm. They've weathered the storm. But Tack is doing a great job of keeping Brain on his toes. Brain is not allowed to peacefully build up. He's having trouble sniping those shuttles. Every single shuttle so far has unloaded and stormed on something. And that's in part because he only went for 3 barracks on a middle spawn location. Most of the time players go for 5 barracks because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different angles for protons to fly in from with their shuttles. If you have only triple barracks, it's hard to cover every single pathway. As you can see, he's got only the sides covered with minimal amounts of Marines. He's not even producing Marines anymore, he's producing only tanks. Only tanks. Not to be confused with the other website, but yeah, he's getting there. But he's kind of skipping out on some units that most people make to defend their base against specifically drops. That's a typical Brain thing to do. Trying to defend with less to achieve more. Although now he's producing a couple Marines again, because he needs a couple more. Drop on the bottom side, triple shuttle. Triple shuttle will survive this Marine and turret setup, so Brain will have to dodge again. So he goes in over the bottom right, flies in, lifting up those barracks. Brain's stimming in, starts unloading those shuttles. Shuttles are unloading everything they have. No Templars in between. Templar arrives on the scene. Templar storms it, misses the SCVs. Almost no. That's it. That's it. So actually a pretty good drop, like well controlled, but Brain takes no risks, pulls the SCVs all the way to this spot right here. Vision on that Marine to send SCVs to safety. Drop from the front, once again, nothing in between though, nothing in between. Arrives on the scene, unloads the High Templars, ready to storm. SCVs running to the left side, storms and hits about 3. 9 into that one, and I think the other one had about 10 as well. So like 29, pretty good storm drop. He's making Brain bleed. He's making Brain bleed quite badly. Still 40 in SCVs, but Tack has managed to recover from that horrible, terrible start. And is now on 85 probes, has a full base, has nothing for carriers yet, but he's getting 1 more cyber core and a fleet beacon, so carriers probably will be built sometime in the near future. Just needs more stargates there, although he can probably at this point win the game with just drops and gateway units. Getting cannons all around the base there. He's going to build maybe shield batteries here on the right side. Goes with a drop on the bottom. Yet again, Marines are out of position, way out of position. Storms on the scene, but SCV's too far away. Only 1 storm lands as the tanks take everything down within a matter of seconds. But Brain still only... Wait, Brain again lost a couple of SCVs. I think a couple of those SCVs that died ran away through a storm, but were on low HP, and like 10 or so of them died to the storm. Because he's once again back to 49, now 50. So he is taking damage. Another drop from the front, really fast back-to-back drops, like 30 seconds in between, over the front side, unloading on top of the tanks. That's terrible for Brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 High Templars storming everywhere he can, but missing the storms on the SCVs. They stay alive, but kills almost all the tanks that were defending. That is a huge hit there on Brain's ability to defend himself, because he doesn't have a lot of money in the bank. Doesn't have a lot of supply either. Tack's drops so far have been phenomenal. Phenomenal drops, but I also think that it's in part due to Brain's own choices. If he had gone for a 5 barrack defense, I think he would have done way better than this in defending those storm drops, but Brain is the kind of person to just not care about that. He thinks he is in a position to end the game with level 1 attack on the tanks, level 1 attack on the Marines, massive zealot army getting us around on the tanks, but storms, great storms, really good storms on the tanks, but the tanks in the front do go down, but the ones in the back are still alive. Zealots marching forward, but that is a large chunk of Brain's army dead and gone, and he only has 8 factories for production. as we have like 20 gateways for production from Tack, and a couple of Stargates as well, which at the moment are just producing Corsairs. But he goes for a frontal push. There's one cannon there in the front, big drop there, and a small drop there from Tack. Gonna try to sneak in over the backside. There's nothing in the back to defend. Flies in, unloads the High Templars as if he's running to safety, but the Storm's getting too close. It's almost everything. One more Storm there in the mix, maybe not. No, the Storms have been used. They're trying to morph into an Archon. He doesn't know, though. He doesn't know how many energy the Templars have. Has to run away yet again. While here in the front, he's attacking. Going through that choke. 40 SCVs against 92 probes. Mines being placed in the front. Tanks in the back are doing a lot of work there. Mines in the front are zoning the Zealots away. Gonna fly into those tanks. Storms on the scene. 1 Storm, 2 Storm, 3 Storm, 3 Storms. Tanks split up, but a lot of tanks do go down. That's number 4. Reaver spawned there in the front. Scarabs are in production. We'll soon shoot on those tanks. More Templars are spawning there in the back. Zealots are coming from this choke point, moving into the middle. Brain retreats. Brain's in trouble. 120 supply against 190. Tanks are on very low HP. Templar gonna die there though. Gonna get taken down first. Units are being loaded up. Gonna go for a drop. Oh, is he gonna go for an unload on the tanks yet again? Gonna try to unload. Ooh, the mine's exploding, killing some tanks. Oh, the Templar and the Reaver both stay alive. Storms on everything. Tanks go down left and right. Everything has been wiped clean. 1 survivor in the back. Retreating from the scene. And yeah, looks like Tack is just dominating Brain. That's not something you see often. He's dominating Brain in a game where Brain should have been in the lead. Because Brain's start, his first 7 minutes, were absolutely phenomenal. He was in the driver's seat in an amazing position, but then skimped out on defensive Marines. And as you saw through this entire game, Brain paid the price for being too arrogant, maybe? Goes in. Dodges the EMP. Oh my god, unloads on the scene. But that drop doesn't really do... Oh wait, never mind. That's a lot of Zealots there in between. A lot of Zealots on the scene. Goliath splitting up but getting chased down. Units from the front coming in as well. Oh, this is a disaster. I thought that drop was going to be a failure, but look at this. The Goliaths have been killed, murdered, erased from existence. Goliath on the chase. It's a horror movie. They're trying to run to safety. Orkan goes down. Turtles on the side getting taken down. We have another drop being prepared. They're back at home. Templar Zealots all being loaded up. Tack is playing on fire. He's spending money like a madman. This non-stop high-speed production. Brain almost at half the supply of Tack. He's going to try to go for tanks on the high ground. Zealous coming to the front. He needs some tanks right here. But he has them over here. Not the best position. He's going to try to kill those tanks. Brain is trying to really skimp out and be as efficient as possible. But that drive and desire for extreme efficiency in defending might come back to haunt him, because it means he cannot lose anything at all, and he's unloading on top of the tanks. Gonna go for the drop in the back as well. High Templars are loading as if he's running. No, they run, but they run into the Storms. Nowhere left to run. 20 SVs alive, 17. Zealots everywhere in the base, killing his stuff. Brain has been, I'd say, destroyed. This was well defended for a long time, but Tack just has something going for him. Absolutely beautiful performance. Very strong Protoss performance. Very strong Protoss performance. Brain down below 50 minerals. He's trying to recover. He's microing to the best of his abilities. APM is shot up over 400, and he calls GG. Tack is the winner of game number 2. Tack is the winner of game number 2. Tack looking very strong. I mean, we already know he's Meppo. He's Meppo. Amazingly strong player. Has in the past defeated Brain in the best of series. But this time around, he's looking exceptionally strong. I mean, he's been playing a lot of 1 versus 1 over the past 2 years, and you can see that he's been gradually getting little bits better over time, just tiny little bits better over time. He's getting a better and better grasp of how to exactly play situations out to secure a victory. And the last game was a prime example of everything combined: patience, knowledge, being calm in the face of danger, micro, macro, strategy and planning. everything was going exactly as it had to, because he was playing flawlessly after that terrible opening. And that says a lot. That says a lot about the kind of player Tack is, because you don't just make a comeback against Brain. You do not just make a comeback against Brain. Nobody ever makes a comeback against Brain. But Tack managed to do it, and that gives him a special spot in my heart. He managed to do something most players could not. Come back against Brain. Unheard of. Literally unheard of. So we have Tack here on the yellow Protoss on the 11 o'clock spawn location, and we have Brain on the 1 o'clock spawn location on the white Terran, ready to, enact his revenge on Tack. Because how dare he defeat me, Brain, the one and only? How dare he take victory out of my hands and make me look a fool on my live stream? So we have ourselves an exciting game. We have ourselves 2 equals, maybe? 2 equals going at it on the fastest map. Tack going for Nexus first into 2 gateways. This I do not like. Now you might be wondering, why do I not like this? 2 things. It's going to delay his forge by quite a lot, and it's going to give Brain, once again, like in the last game, the opportunity to go for some aggression. If you get the gateways before the Nexus, you will have Zealots out on the map pretty early. But if you get the gateways after the Nexus, your Zealots will be pretty slow. Pretty damn slow. As you can see, we already have Marines out on the map, ready to hunt. And the Marines will definitely outnumber the double gateway production. Because as I said before, the gateways were late. And so is the Forge. The Cybercore is very fast though, but he's only on a single gas, not 2 gas. So at this point I'm wondering, what the hell is Tack planning on doing here? Because this is some avant-garde stuff that I've seen it before, but it makes me wonder, what specifically does he have in mind? Because he is the kind of person to be capable of adjusting his build orders and changing things up for it to be something you've never seen before. But I'm gonna gamble. And it actually, Brain is playing quite defensively. He's making sure that Tack does not get into his base to see what he's doing. He's getting a command center. 2 or 1? Okay, 1 command center here. Wasn't quite sure because he was saving up money up until about 400, but then decided to get a factory. Academy finished up in the back. He's going to go for triple Nexus, triple command center, or double command center. We have Tack now mining from 2 gas. He's getting 2 robos in the front, 1 Marine in the back running in circles, getting all the information necessary, so there's going to be no surprises. And Tack has reverted to doing pretty much standard stuff. I really thought Brain would take advantage of the double gateway before Nexus, after Nexus, but it looks like he's just taking it easy at the moment. Taking it easy. He's just focusing on growing his economy, getting his Wraith defense going. This looks like a Wraith defense. That's 1 starboard, and I see SCV number 2 in position to start the other starboard. We do have a pretty good number of Zealots knocking on Brain's front door, and this is a fight that Tack could take and probably win, but he decides against it because he doesn't exactly know what's in the back here. He doesn't exactly know what Brain is up to. He could be walking into a Terran base that is well defended. It's semi-well defended. He could kill a lot of Marines here, but he decides against it. He wants to save his Marines because he's planning on going for a shuttle double Reaver Zealot speed frontal attack. And Brain is going to go for a double Wraith to snipe that shuttle. And there's an engineering bay there on the way. Kind of for turrets. He's got scan. He scanned the front of Tack's base. Maybe the back. I should have checked. I just know that he scanned either the front or the back. If he scanned the front, he saw shuttle Zealots. And then he knows, of course, that it's going to be double Reaver as well. If he scanned the back, he could probably deduce the exact same information. probably the exact same information. Because he saw the Zealots, and if you see the support bay and no Templar's Archive in the back, you know it's going to be Reavers coming out very soon. So that's one Reaver finished up. 2 Dragoons on the way as well. He's using the Dragoons as a defensive measure. So he's not going to use them for offense. Reaver flying out on the map. We got a siege tank there in the back hiding. He's not going to build a full wall because he's planning on sniping the shuttle with the raids. And Reavers both unload, going to crawl forward. They're under attack. 2 tanks to shoot on the Reavers. Zealots. He's just out of range to hit that supply depot. So supply depot will die, but it won't really be much of a problem for Brain because he's not supply blocked and he successfully killed the shuttle with the Reavers. So the very fast Wraith defense here paying off for Brain without even having a proper wall in the front. It's a little bit risky because if he doesn't find the shuttle on time, then this here in the front could take some pretty heavy damage. But finding a shuttle on time means, of course, that the shuttle and the Reavers are pretty much a non-factor. Very fast armory, getting 3 more factories, and still getting rates on his double commencement production for 4 refineries. Yeah, it's going pretty well here for Brain. It's going pretty well. No damage taken yet, and I don't expect him to take any damage anytime soon. The Wraith defense against shuttles reigns supreme. It's amazing against specifically the shuttles. Got double, triple Stargate going out there from Tack. Has almost no anti-drop. Reaver goes in, shuttle gets taken down, Reaver unloads, kills about 4, maybe 5 Marines. Nothing special. Also note, Brain is skipping out on turrets on this bottom side. He got his turrets on the left side very, very late into the game. Because he's trying to use as many SCVs for mining minerals and gas and using as little as possible for building turrets. So he's saving a lot of money by only using 2 SCVs to build turrets. Saving a lot of money for other purposes. Which means he's really relying on the raids being very effective. Drop once again, bottom side. Barracks spots it. Flies through, stims, snipes a shuttle, nothing of significance unloads. So he lifted up the barracks to the bottom there to get a vision on the high ground. Marines have largely died, got 7 still alive. It's really just the raids, and now the tanks and Goliaths keeping him in the game. His defense is looking strong. 6 factory. Goliath's going to try to snipe shuttles as well, and Tack is going for Corsairs, because Corsairs absolutely crap on raids. No turrets on the bottom yet. Is he getting observers as well? Yes, observatory there in the back. Right here, in the front. He's getting shuttles still. He's going to get observers after this round of shuttles. Because he needs the observers to detect the raids, which might have cloak. They don't yet, but Tack is assuming that the raids will have cloak already finished up. The Brain is relying on just uncloaked raids to snipe the shuttles. He's getting double control tower now, though. But by the time these arrive, I think cloak won't be finished yet. He scans, he sees the observatory, so he probably knows cloak is on the way. He knows exactly what's happening. He saw about 7 or 8 Corsairs, and he saw the shuttles as well. So he knows that the raids are being targeted specifically by the Corsairs. That's why he has Goliaths now as well, which can snipe the shuttles out of the sky just as well as the raids can. Now, I do expect a couple of those Corsairs to die as he flies in, because there's a lot of turrets, Goliaths. I'm not sure if the observers will survive. He's waiting for observer speed. He needs the observers to keep up with the shuttles and the Corsairs, which is giving Brain a lot of time to prepare himself for that drop specifically. We don't have Cloak on the way. He is just deciding not to get it at all. He's going for Valkyries instead. Got a Fleet Beacon on the way there for Tack. Drop is stacking up there on the top corner. Going to try to stay out of Goliath range the best he can. But also by stacking up those shuttles, it becomes very difficult to hit every single shuttle. But he unstacks them, flies in, takes some risks, stacks them up, goes in, Course is there to hunt down the raids. Gonna attack the raids. Raids taking heavy damage. Shuttles are... Nothing unloads. Everything got sniped out of the sky. The raids did go down, but the raids did their job. They killed half the shuttles, and the other half was killed there by the Goliaths. Nothing unloaded. Brain is a happy man. He is still completely and fully in the race, without ever taking any damage whatsoever. And Tack has tried, but Brain is just playing this really, really well. So, Robotics number 4 on the way, still in triple Stargate. Fleet Beacon on the top. He has 1 Forge for armor and shields. Got double Cyber Core for armor and weapon for sky or air. Comes over the bottom. Flies in. Valkyrie's ready to shoot on those shuttles. Unloads the shuttles. Templar gets pretty close. Really close. Can't storm. Is running. Is dodging. Hits some SCVs. Got about, I'd say, 15. 16. It's a hit. He hit him. It's not great. It's not what he needed. He needed a really hard hitting drop. That was more like a tap on the shoulders. You know, not too hard, not too soft. It pushed Brain off balance, but he's regained his balance already. And now we're preparing for a fight there on the middle because Brain is planning on moving out. He is feeling fine with his, that's 9, 12 factories. That's pretty strong. Got 7 machine shops, and the others are just factories for Vultures and Goliaths. Pushing out in the middle. We got a lot of high tempers on the middle. Drop being prepared here back at home. Shuttles are on the way. Courses are in the sky. He's getting more forges now as well. Pushing forward slowly. Sending in a Zealot first to storm on the tanks. So the Zealot goes in, takes a shot from the tanks, and then the High Templars storm the tanks. And hopefully kills some of them, or just weakens them enough to die on the next storm. As you can see right here. Lost quite a bit of HP. But nothing for Brain to worry about just yet. Since 6 in SCVs against 91 probes. Another drop there. Oh, this one's gonna unload on top of the tanks. Is there High Templars in there? Yes. Snipes the High Templars, specifically targeting them. Huge storm coming down. Triple storm gets half the tanks. Zealot's trying to take out the rest of them. Reaver crawls forward, gets killed before it can shoot. And Brain wins that exchange. Tack, though. Tack did, I'd say, a substantial amount of damage. But he needs more gateways. He needs more gateways. We got more courses on the way, more drops being prepared. This is the point where Brain is becoming quite scary, because Brain is rich. Well, he doesn't have a lot of minerals, but he has a lot of SCVs, which is the same as being rich. And yeah, as I said before, 12 factories, getting more machine shops for those factories. A lot of them on the high ground, where Brain cannot see the High Templar storming. Misses some of the storms, kills almost nothing, but I think a lot of the Goliaths have been weakened up. And that will of course make them easier to kill in the future. Damage dealt is damage dealt, no matter how much or how little. Every bit of damage is a small little advantage gained. So shuttle drop on the top gets spotted by the Vulture by pure chance. That's bad luck. Valkyries know what's coming. Goes in. Valkyrie's ready to intercept, take down those shuttles, and kill them before they even unload a single unit. So now he's knocking on the front door, where a lot of Reavers and High Templars are waiting. He built more gateways, so his production is pretty good right now, but his supply is behind by 30. It will catch up soon, though. Stormter on the front. Reavers waiting for anything that's close. Reavers are surprisingly good in defensive situations against Terran. You wouldn't say it, but they are. 2 armor. Level 1 attack on the way, no shields. Carriers being produced in the back. He's got 6 Stargates. There's not a lot to write home about, but he's going to try to make it work. He has to. He has no choice. He's under attack. He has to make something work. And he looks a little bit desperate. Looks a little bit desperate here. So he might try to unload on top of those tanks yet again. Might fly over the side and unload on top of them. These are on low HP. All the tanks here are on low HP. Except for one. Flies in over the side. Goliath's trying to snipe the shuttles. Unloads on top of everything. Reaver shooting. Reaver is getting huge shots on those tanks. Cleans out that advancing Terran armor from Brain. And Brain now back to the drawing board, having to produce his entire army. But while he was attacking, he built a couple more factories. 4 more. So around 16. Courses pushing back the vessels. The middle is back in, I'd say, Brain's hands still, because it is one single tank there waiting on the bottom. Mines on the side for detection against those shuttle drops. So the entire map is being spotted out. He's building on the side there for maybe his carriers in the future to get a shield battery base going here on the side. Brain has recovered his supply. Still, a lot of supply is still inside those factories though. And a lot of his supply is in the Valkyries as well. He's got 12 of them. More tanks are spawning and joining up with the rest. Carriers are in the sky on the way. Got a couple of Goliaths in the mix. I think Brain is not aware that carriers are being built here on the side. He does have a lot of Valkyries though, so it's not like he cannot fight against them. It just doesn't look like he's aware that carriers are on the way. Great High Temple unload, but no energy on the High Temple. Oh, he did have high energy. He did have energy, just didn't store him. He had 84 energy. Another gateway base there being built on the 9 o'clock. Goes in for that frontal push, getting in between. Gonna place some mines with those. These are here for detection. Brain is looking pretty solid. And Tack does not have a lot of army because he's on 90 probes. Meets about 75, so that's 15 too many. Might kill some of them very soon. Carriers are spawning in the back. Only 2 Goliaths on the scene. We might see more Goliaths being produced. No Goliaths being produced there yet. But the carriers show themselves because they now have to push forward. They have to reveal themselves, and that pulls the Valkyries into action immediately. Brain sees it as only like 5 to 6 carriers on the scene, and he knows that his Valkyries, numbering 12, will do the trick. Tank's getting very close to the probes, when it hits the probes from very far away, maximum range. Carriers under attack there by the Valkyries. Tack's economy just died. 30 probes left alive. That's pretty much all the probes on his gas. Storms on the Valkyries. Valkyries splitting up. They survive. And Tack loses game number 4. Unceremoniously. Just a perfect game by Brain. Very, very good game there by Brain. Was on top of everything. Every step of the road. Like every step of the road, he knew exactly what was coming because he had great information gathering. And he had the exact right units to counter pretty much every single option that Tack put on the table. So now we're going into game number 5. Game number 5. Both players have 2 wins. And this is going to be the final game to decide who wins this best of 5. Who's it going to be? Tack or Brain? Let me switch back. So we got Brain here on the blue Protoss on the bottom right of the map. And Tack has switched to the Terran. He is a pretty good Terran, as we've seen from him in the past, when he played on the name Meppo and San Francisco and a couple of other names like Chicken Man. He's just a very good Terran. He's good in everything. That's what I've seen so far from him. He's good in every single race. How is Brain gonna break Tack? Or how is Tack gonna counter Brain's moves? Brain has some smooth moves, but will they be smooth enough for Tack to survive? Or maybe to put this better, we know Brain is one of the best Protoss players on the fastest map. How good is Tack? Is Tack's Terran good enough to beat Brain's Protoss? We've seen Tack play Terran against other players, but not yet against the best player in the world. And sorry for that one, I'm currently basically on vacation, and there's a big clock hanging right behind me. And every single hour, on the hour, it bangs loudly. And I'm sitting right next to the clock. So you probably heard it going bing, bing, bing. And I should have noticed and turned off the microphone, but guess what? Instead, we punished your hearing and made you feel the pain that I'm feeling from sitting right next to this thing. That aside, though. That aside. Yeah, he's doing a double barrack build order as well. Kind of, I'd say this is probably the newest meta, where players just go for a double barracks and then go for a fast command center. Because so often, the Protoss players only have 2 gateways, and these people believe that their micro is so extremely good that they only need double barracks production. and nothing more than that. So small little detail that I want to point out. Brain just passed through the SUV because he saw the SUV trying to block. So he clicked on the minerals with the probe to make it run through. Small little detail, but it's a detail that sometimes sets apart players from one another. So Brain there playing this safe, going for Nexus, Forge, Choke, Gateway, Cannon, and then a Cybercore on a single gas as well. This is something else that I've been seeing recently, is that the Protoss players go not for double gas, but for single gas. Like, over the past few years, it's always been double gas on this double Nexus build order. And he's going for a single one because he's going for a fast Citadel of Adun. Okay, that explains it. That explains it. Brain is switching and mixing things up. Now, is he going to go for Templar's Archive? Not entirely sure what he's up to. It's 2 more gateways. He's going to go for speed and level 1 attack, probably. He's going to try to just barge his way through with brute force, because he knows that Tack went for a double barracks into a factory. Tack though is looking quite aggressive with his forward posturing. It's almost as if Brain feels that Tack might try to break through, and that is why Brain is now getting more zealots to try and fight this off. But would it work though? Because it's 1 cannon, 4 zealots at the moment, and 2 more zealots spawning. 1 more on, 2 more in production. Speed on the way, getting 6 gateways in total. Medics will arrive on the scene. Stim is almost finished up. So 1 cannon and 6 zealots against 2 medics and about 12 marines. 12 marines, 2 medics. Firebats on the way. It's going to be a close call. Brain's next wave of zealots are spawning. And Tack sees the zealots, sees 1 cannon. He knows what's up. Stim is finished up. Firebats will have to go first to tank the cannon. Goes in, runs in. Gonna try to hit the cannon. Gonna try to break through. Cannon goes down. Firebats retreat. Micro is great. Firebats retreating yet again. Trying to have them heal up. Oh, he runs into the backside. Gonna try to hit those probes. The zealots block the Firebat, though no touchdown. And he repels the attack, but Tack is not yet finished with him. He wants to go again. He wants another run for the second Firebat. So the Marines break open the defenses. Zealots have speed now, though. He's going to have to run really quickly. Not what Tack was expecting. He was not expecting speed on Zealots. They have a wall being built in the front frantically. He's got almost nothing to defend. The Marines will have to pass through the supply depot wall and keep those Zealots out of his base. That's his only chance at surviving. Keep those Zealots out. He's running through. Gets behind that big wall. The offensive line. Now a defensive line. Stims the Marines. Zealots attacking. He's going to break through. But how many Zealots will die before he breaks through? Okay. That did not work. Very close call, though. Very close call. Okay, not even close. Well, actually, it was close. Because if those Marines had died here on the middle, somewhere around here, Brain would have broken through, because then there would have been no Marines behind the wall to kill the Zealots. So much closer than it might appear. Like he didn't break through, but he could have broken through if Tack had made just one single mistake, which he did not. But that was close, and I get what Brain was trying to do. It almost worked. A counter strategy, expecting aggression from a Terran. And he's getting level 2 attack, 1 armor, getting a 3rd forge, getting 2 cyber cores, has 2 support base. 2 support base. I think that's a mistake. 2 support base. Tank drop from Tack, breaking through the front door, trying. The tank is helping the Zealots break through. Zealots are strong. Comes in, tank arrives in Brain's base. Brain is running the safety. Tanks are sieging up. Where will they shoot? Will they hit anything? 50 more probes alive. Down to 50. Ooh, almost returned too early. But right here, where the fight was happening, Tack survives because he has 4 bunkers and Marines on the scene with medics. The Zealots broke through, killed the tank, but didn't kill a lot of Marines. So a bunch of close calls left and right, but neither of the two players taking significant amounts of damage yet. Close call though with the tank drop that could have ended the game if that had hit anything more than 4, anything more than 10. You're getting air attack and armor, getting more robos, getting a Stargate. 54 probes drop there on the side, gonna try to sneak through, but everything is pretty well protected except this wide open hole right there that you might just try to get into, slide right in there and go deep all the way into the backside of Tack's base, where the economy is being protected by a small amount of Marines, but he's going for the Marine defense, something I would have liked Brain do 2 games ago. 7 barracks keeps getting upgrades. Level 1 attack is already finished up there for the Marines. No, it's actually almost finished up. Correction there, my mistake. Army there on the way. SV there escaping. We have the shuttle. Where's the shuttle? On the top, double shuttle. Wraith sees them, flies away. Brain is having some trouble finding a good entrance point into Tack's base. Tack has... I really like the Marine defense. It's something Burger Sasu popularized. And it's awesome. It works a lot, almost every single time. It's highly effective. Because Marines are the cheapest unit. They die easily. But, oh, tank drop comes again. Tank sieges up, double tank. Probes running to the bottom. They're within range. Gets a huge shot off. Got 14 probes. Yeah, Brain is bleeding yet again. Yet again, Brain bleeds. And that's because he's really skipping out on cannons. He's playing this as cheap as he can. He's trying to be as efficient as he can. He's taking a lot of risks. That's why he has those pylons on the map to see dropships leaving. It's all for vision. Same with these pylons. A lot of vision, dropships over the bottom side. Marines are surprisingly not in position to snipe the shuttles on time. Starts unloading the high Templars. He's going to try to storm everywhere he can. Misses the SCVs. One more high Templar, but it's too far away. 2 storms in the high Templar. This one has... I mean, he kills some Marines. He kills some SCVs. He killed like 10 SCVs. Whoa, storms again! And oh no, that's going to be the money shot that he did not want to happen. Tack. Went back to work a little bit too early. And the SCVs paid the price. Now he needs some medics there in the back to heal up the remaining SCVs because a lot of them are low HP. As you can see, a lot of them are low HP. Specifically on this side. Almost dead and gone. But yeah, Brain flips the script. Because now I said that Tack was in the lead. Well, scratch that. Brain has taken over. Brain is in the driver's seat. And his upgrades are really good because he went for very fast early upgrades. 1-1-1. Getting more air upgrades as well. He's going to go for carriers at some point. Not quite sure why he's not getting level 2 for ground. You really... Oh, tank to the high ground. Being annoying. Is that a Dark Archon? Oh, that's regular Archons. Ooh, I can see what he's trying to do here. He's going to try to kill that command center. And the fact that he revealed his Archons means that Tack now knows that the Brain is going to try to hit those... this command center and take it down. Because Archons are really fast. High damage. High firing rate. And they take a while to die. So he might try to take down that command center with this big drop flying over this angle right here, I assume. This is the most popular angle you'll ever see. Yes, goes in over the bottom side, bottom left, bottom right, Marines in between, trying to stim. Oh, disruption webs. Marines stimming, unloading. High Templars on the scene, hits the storm yet again, but doesn't kill. Okay, he kills. Oh, yes, he kills a lot of SCVs. A lot of SCVs go down to 14. Brain is showing how it's done with Protoss. He's giving us all a lesson. He's writing the textbook on how to kill a Terran as he plays. And he doesn't have a lot of buildings either. He's just super effective with what he's using and doing. Super effective. Tries to maximize what he can do with every single little thing he has. And sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it does not. So Tack is in trouble. He has 80 supply, 20 SCVs. He's bruised, bleeding, heavily bleeding, heavily bleeding. Now Brain knows that the only opportunity for Tack to make a comeback is to go for a tank drop and kill probes. So he's getting a lot more cannons around his probes to not have to worry too much about tank drops anymore, because tank drops have so far slowed him down twice already. A lot of big drop flying across the map. Gonna stack up those shuttles and Corsairs to once again make it hard to hit them. Uses his pylon to stack them up and then goes and flies right on in. The bottom side, Marines coming in. He's unloading inside the base on the bottom corner. He's gonna try to just kill units. And he's gonna fly the shuttles back home to pick up more units. Now this move from Brain actually turns out to not be that effective, because the Marine defense is pretty good for these low economy situations. Because Marines are cheap. I said it before, Marines are cheap. And with some upgrades, they stim down units pretty quick. But Brain is going to level 2 armor, attack, and shield, at which point those gateway units will be a little bit stronger and more difficult to kill than they currently are. Although we have level 1 armor and 3 attack on the way for the Marines, which will still make them pretty effective against the armor upgrades and the shield upgrades from those gateway units. Goes in over the top, great angle, literally nothing in between. As he's run to safety, he's going to kill the command center, I'm sure of it. Or maybe he's not. He's just going to kill whatever he can. But yeah, he goes for the command center. Disruption webs on the bunkers. Storms on the Marines and the SCVs trying to repair. Command center will survive though, because there's, oh yeah, close call. But those disruption webs on the bunkers though, that was cute stuff. That was cute stuff. I just think Brain didn't attack the command center on time. This took like 5 seconds too long to attack it, because he wanted to hit the storms on the SCVs first, which is honestly, in my opinion, a great choice. Kill the SCVs, cannot kill the SCVs, then maybe kill the command center. It's like a flowchart. Did you achieve your goal in attempt number 1? Okay, go for option number 2. Corsair saw the dropship leaving, takes it down quite easily. Like, that's why these pylons exist. He doesn't need that many cannons. He has some cannons, but not a lot of them. And he doesn't have a lot of gateways either. But he's making it work. He's pretty much always maxed out. It's a weird thing to see how Brain can macro with less. Unloads in the front, disruption web on the bunker and the turret. Hits 3 structures with 1 disruption web. Gonna kill the entire front door. Ooh, that disruption web is really doing Tack dirty. Drop comes in at the top as well. Only 1, 2 Marines, 3, 4 Marines. High Templars on the scene, storming on the SCVs. SCVs trying to dodge, and they're not doing a great job because there's too many High Templars on the scene, storming everywhere he can. Everywhere he can. 39 SCVs stay alive, which is by itself a miracle, but considering there were so many storms happening, the entire front section has been salvaged. Damage has been dealt, but he's still alive. Zealot's still running back and forth. Tanks being put in the high ground. Archon in the bank is taken down. Shuttles leaving the base to pick up more units here back at home. And 2 Corsairs coming in. Okay, I thought that was 2 shuttles, but it's 2 Corsairs instead. Yeah, Tack is having a really hard time. But he's still alive, which is surprising. Brain gets a couple more gateways. You're back at home. A couple stargates there. He has the fleet beacon, but doesn't have enough stargates to make carriers. So the fleet beacon is largely there to get level 2 air upgrades. Big shuttle drop. Huge shuttle drop. Some on the high ground first to take down Marines surrounding, dodging the storms. Tack is trying really hard. So that was a very small drop. Just a very small drop. This is going to be the big one. This small drop is just there to kill whatever it could. Like kill some units on the high ground, maybe storm some Marines. Just softening up the defenses first. And then the big drop is going to be the game changer. It's a huge drop. It's like 12 shuttles. 12 shuttles, and I think most of them have something in them. I assume like 2, maybe 3 have nothing in them. He's gonna go in, trying to find a good angle. Most of the Marines are on the bottom. Goes in, everything is stimming to the top, unloads everything he can on top of the Commander. The Zealots, Reavers, High Templars in the mix, unloads even more. He's unloading everywhere, nowhere is safe. Huge hit from a Scarab. Reaver goes down, SCVs, 40 still alive, and leaves the base. Leaves the base. There's quite some supply from Brain stuck on the high ground here. It's about, I'd say, 9 Zealots on the high ground there, so that's about 18 supply, not really being utilized. But I don't think they will make too much of a difference, considering he has 200 supply and Tack has 110. And Tack has somewhat managed to get tanks all over the place. There's Marines running left and right with that 7 barrack production. His upgrades are almost maxed out for the Marines on 2-3. Well, 1-3, excuse me. I'm getting... Okay, he's getting the Stargates now for carriers, so he does feel the need to get carriers, although we have an Arbiter Tribulator on the way in the bottom, and more Reavers spawning on the bottom as well. Drop is waiting. Scans it, he knows what's coming, did not see the Reavers, but he knows a big drop is coming right about now. The Zealots on the high ground have been killed by those tanks. Big drop going over the left side of the map. Finds a nice hole, wide open, goes right in, Marines in between stimming, unloading the Zealots, unloading the High Templars, unloading the whatever is in there. And it's just Zealots? Is there High Templar in there somewhere? No High Templars, just Zealots, and the Zealots are highly effective. Oh, Templars at the front. Templars at the front, and it's stormed. So Tack does lose about 30 supply there. He did not lose the SCVs though, which is the most important thing. He's building cannons on the side to hit those turrets from over the hill. And Tack is going to siege up and kill those cannons before they can kill the turrets. So a lot of things going on pretty much everywhere. Tack 140 supply. Getting vision with the engineering bay. Big drop is being picked up. He has Reavers inside this one. Reavers 2, 4. Wait, that's 4 Reavers. And everything else is Zealots. A couple more shuttles are in the back waiting to go in. Corsairs escorting those shuttles. Unloads in the bottom corner. He is within a range of some tanks. 2 tanks, 3 tanks. A lot of Reavers getting a lot of Marine kills. This one tank is going to be a saving grace. Nope, it's not. It got killed. It's gone. It's dead. Tanks on the side there, moving in. Supply once again close to 100. He's losing a lot of supply pretty much all the time. Supply depots might go down. Reavers gonna die. Marines kill the Zealots. You can see that the Marines, even though they're so weak in terms of health, have so much power in them with stim. Frontal attack there though. Big frontal attack with level 3 Zealots marching through. Tanks do not stand a chance. The bunkers don't stand it. This is it. This is it. This is it. The front has been broken. Sides are dying. Big drop on the way. Once again, cannons being built there on the side. Tack is being completely brute forced into the ground. Getting killed, getting destroyed. Zealots once again on the scene. Chasing down those SCVs. Nowhere to run. Literally nowhere to run. Call CG. There's too many stuff in his base. Zealots everywhere. And Tack dies in game number 5. Brain secures his position as the alpha dog in the fastest map world. He's still there, standing at the top. Tack challenged him yet again, and this time around could not kick Brain off of that golden throne he's been sitting on for the past 5 years. Thank you for watching. It was RGB for RJBTV. This was Tack against Brain. A highly exciting top level match of 2 of the best players in the world right now. Hope to see you return sometime soon. I will do yet again another video whenever I can in the near future. Hope to see you, and leave a comment, a like, or a subscribe. It helps YouTube Senpai notice me. See you soon.